Joined now by Wolves assistant coach Micah Nori. Micah, thanks so much for the time. You guys are coming off a 38-point loss in Game 2. What are some of the biggest adjustments you guys need to make tonight for Game 3?
Yeah, I think first of all, the thing we got to do is what they've done a really good job is just transition. Even in Game 1 and Game 2, they're just really looking to push the pace. This is a defensive series. Obviously, we're a very good defensive team. They've been an elite defensive team as well, so they're trying to score before we can get set. Kudos to them. So we got to make sure we get back and set our defense number one. The second thing is that the offensive side of the ball, what they're looking to do is put two quite a bit on Anthony. They'll put two on the post in Julius. And for that part, everybody, when you get two on you, we just got to get off of it early, get off of it quick. And we are making the right play. The problem is we're making it maybe a beat late, and what happens is we're now playing in crowds. That's led to some of those turnovers that we have to cut down. And then once we do get off of it, being ready to attack, get ourselves downhill, because that's when you can catch Wemby outside the paint, not at the rim, doing what he does. And even if he's down there, then it's still those kickouts and those drives. So those are the adjustments. They upped their intensity on the ball. They started putting two on the ball, specifically on Anthony. So just how do we counteract that? And that's what's great about playoff series.
Yeah, when you're facing a unicorn like Wemby, offensively for you guys, what's the biggest challenge that he presents for you?
So when we're at the offensive end, the biggest thing is obviously he's protecting the rim. They essentially play a one-man zone, smart by them. What they basically do is they just face guard on the perimeter, send everybody down to there, to Wemby, and then what they're hoping is that you go and challenge him at the rim. When we talk about engaging Wemby, what we're trying to do is make him have to come to the ball with someone else on you. That's two on the ball, and that goes right back to what we're talking about, making sure you get off of it, and you got to be able to find those shots. Sometimes they'll be on the perimeter, and then when you do get those open shots, just taking your time, shoot it with confidence and knock it down.
To that end, how much of a barometer of success in this series is points in the paint for you guys?
Yeah, I think it's more so, I think you could expand on that, meaning paint points. And so, yeah, just the true shots in the paint, we're not shooting them very well, but the other thing I think we still want to get into the paint, and then the times that the ball touches the paint and we kick it out. So we don't want to just stay on the perimeter, be a shell offensive team where they can kind of stay home and we just pass around the shell, don't make anybody move, don't put two on the ball and take a shot. So getting it into the paint is key, not necessarily having to shoot it and make it in the paint, but then once you're into the paint and you draw Wemby, kicking out, and then that should lead to those open shots rather than just playing perimeter shell offense, we call it, the whole game.
For Jaden, how important is it for him to maintain that aggressiveness while also avoiding foul trouble?
Yeah, I think it's very key. I think the thing that we talk about is fouling up the floor. Not fouling, but being more physical up the floor. If you wait to be physical once they're into the paint, that's where the officials can see that. That's where it gets into the selling of calls and all that debate that you want to get into. But if you're physical up the floor, don't let them get down into that area. So we want to be aggressive up the floor instead of waiting to be aggressive. And you're absolutely right. He is a huge key for us, both at the offensive and defensive end, for him to be on the floor, because I think we're 4-15 against teams over 500 in games in which he's not played 30 minutes. So keeping Jay McDaniels on the floor is huge for us.
For you guys, whenever you cross half court, right, felt like they sent a lot of pressure, some blitzes, some of those things. For your perspective, what's the counter to their aggressive defense?
Yeah, I think the big thing is make sure that you come across at the middle of the floor, so in the center, stay off of the sidelines, because now you're basically eliminating half the floor. But when you come across the middle and they put two on you, if you get off of it early and quick, and you keep Rudy down the floor and you have the corners filled, basically what you get into is like a 3-on-2 situation. And whether your spacing be there or Rudy flashes up, but the key is once that they put two on you, you have to get off of it, and then what you'll have is a 3-on-2 opportunity behind it, whether it leads to a corner threes or another drive to the basket.
They had a 29-5 advantage in terms of fast break points in Game 2. I know it sounds simple, but how important is it getting back on defense?
It's huge, and I think it's twofold. I mean, you can almost kind of take off as many live ball turnovers we have. Those are hard to get back for. Pass across the top of the floor, they steal it or whatnot, you go. But where they hurt us was even after makes, and then a lot of those misses, we just have to make a concerted effort to get back. You can't stand and watch. You either have to crash the glass so your guy has to box you out and he can't run the floor, or you go ahead and get yourself back, get below the ball. The ball obviously is the problem, so getting below the ball, not being hugged up with your man, but transition points have been huge. You think about it, that's 29 easy points for them to our 5, so that's a 24-point advantage where we've had to work that much harder on the offensive end against a very good defensive team.
You guys are undefeated at home so far in the playoffs. How big of an advantage is this crowd at Target Center?
It's huge, and I think that's the biggest thing too, coming back home 1-1. I said I'd much rather be, and I think we would all agree, agree, 1-1 coming back with a 40-point loss, then come back 0-2 with two 1-point losses or whatnot. So at the end of the day, the scores don't matter. You have home court advantage. Our home court has been phenomenal, and I think the other thing is we are, I guess, playoff tested and all that. We've been in this situation before. Protect home court. Obviously, you want to get two and then go back and try to steal one more if you can. But if you can hold down home court, obviously we win the series.
Just two more for you. Someone who is constantly involved in head coaching searches throughout the NBA and probably will be moving forward. For you personally, though, how much are you enjoying another lengthy postseason run with the Wolves?
Oh, it's the best. I mean, this is what you play for. This is the best time of the year. I think it's everybody's best basketball. You see the adjustments San Antonio's made. You see the adjustments that we've made. You see the series that we've had in the past, obviously the Denver series. But to be able to continue your season, extend is it's a great for our staff. It's obviously great for Coach Finch and our players. It's a tribute to those guys. To be one of the final 8 right now in the last 2 years, being one of the last 2 Western Conference teams standing and just trying to fight and continue to get over that hump. And it just shows the consistency of this group, the resiliency of this group. And again, you kind of don't want to get bored with the regular season, but this brings out the best in all of us, and I think you're seeing that.
Get you out of here on this. You guys play on Mother's Day. What's your mom mean to you, Micah?
Oh, man. She's healthy, which is great, but my dad was our coach growing up, all of us. There were 4 of us, and my brother Brady, my sister Danae, and Emmy. He was hard on us in a good way, and my mom was the one we'd always go to, and she, for hugs and all that, pat on the back, but she was everywhere. She was, a chauffeur driving us all over to all our practices and activities and all that, and now with she's got 10 grandkids, 11 grandkids now, and in the way that she is with them, it's just the best thing is that she's here, she's healthy, and get to talk to her every day, and she's been phenomenal, obviously, like I think all of us are towards our moms.
Micah, thanks so much for the time. Appreciate it.